Hello students, welcome back to this online class. In the previous video, we discussed about the introduction of the climate of India. Basically, we discussed about the two factors, that is latitude and the influence of the Himalayas. Today, we are going to discuss in this video about other factors affecting the climate of India or other factors affecting the temperature of India. So these are the points that we need to discuss. The first one is location, or it is also known as latitude, right? And the second one is influence of Himalayas. Third one is altitude. Fourth one is distance from the sea. Fifth one is western disturbances and tropical depressions. The sixth one is upper air currents, or it is also known as jet streams. So let's discuss one by one these factors, how it affects the temperature of India. The first one, that is location, or it is also known as latitude, right? So first, when we talk about the location, India is located Tropic of Cancer. So when you talk about the location, Tropic of Cancer passes through middle of India. So this Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two parts. It divides the country into two parts. That is, the north of the Tropic of Cancer is known as temperate north. It is known as temperate, and the south of Tropic of Cancer is known as tropical. Okay, so as we discuss about the location and mainly the Tropic of Cancer that divides the country into two equal halves. That is, the north is part of temperate and is known as temperate region, and the south of the Tropic of Cancer is known as tropical region. So according to that, the temperature differs. So the north of it will be experiencing continental type of climate. So the north of, that is basically temperate region, the areas will be experiencing continental type of climate. That means extreme climate. What do you mean by extreme climate? It is too hot during summer and too cold during winter. That is known as extreme climate. So this is extreme climate, that is continental type of climate, is too hot during summer seasons and it is too cold during winter season. All right, so because of the Tropic of Cancer and its location of India affects the north of the Tropic of Cancer and south of Tropic of Cancer will be vast difference of temperature. Now when you talk about the southern peninsula, they experience moderate type of climate. Okay, so southern parts of India, southern peninsula, they experience moderate type of climate because they are surrounded by water bodies. surrounded by water bodies. So they are surrounded by water bodies. So due to the influence of the land breeze and sea breeze, the areas which are located nearby the coastal areas will be experiencing moderate type of climate or maritime type of climate or equable climate. These were the points that we need to discuss about the locations. Remember, beyond the Tropic of Cancer will be experiencing continental type of climate. As we in Uttar Pradesh, we also living in beyond the Tropic of Cancer. We experience too much of cold during winter season and too much of hot during the summer season. So this we need to remember. Then moderate type of climate. These areas are experiencing moderate type of climate due to the water bodies that is surrounding them and effect of the land breeze and the sea breeze. All right. So now let us discuss about the second point, that is influence of the Himalayas. The influence of the Himalayas first point, I hope you got the concept. First, remember that Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two parts, that is north of it is known as temperate and south of it is known as tropical. So in sometimes it will be asked temperate cyclones, differentiate between temperate cyclone and tropical cyclone. So the areas which the rainfall which occur in temperate zone will be known as temperate cyclones, and the rainfall that occurs on Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea, that is below Tropic of Cancer, will be called as tropical cyclones. So next, second one is influence of Himalayas. Influence of Himalayas. Himalayas play two major roles for affecting the temperature of India. The first one is, that is, it obstructs the bitter cold wind from Siberia. So first role of Himalaya is that it obstructs, it blocks the cold severe wind that comes from Siberia. It blocks, it does not allow the very cold wind during the winter season. Otherwise, without the presence of Himalayas, India would have been a very cold country and we would have been experiencing snowfall, right, during winter season. The second one is that it also intercepts the rain-bearing southwest monsoon winds. So the second role of Himalayan is that it intercepts the rain-bearing southwest monsoon winds. That means it doesn't allow the clouds, southwest monsoon clouds, to move away from India. Thus, it forces the moisture to shed within India itself, and due to that, the places of Indo-Gangetic or the plain areas receives heavy rainfall during the rainy seasons, right? So these were the two major factors. First one, remember, it obstructs the bitter cold wind from Siberia, and the second one is intercepts the rain-bearing southwest monsoon winds. Okay, these are the second points. And third point, let us discuss about. The third point is the altitude, right? The altitude, that means in 9th standard you might have altitude, right? In 9th standard you might be remembering the lapse rate, right? The lapse lapse rate, right? So what happens in the lapse rate? The temperature decreases with the increase of altitude. So what happens? The temperature decreases with increasing altitude at the rate of 1 degree for every 166 meter. So what happens? The lapse rate means the temperature decreases with increasing altitude at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 166 meter. When you go 166 meter high, 1 degree will be reducing, 1 degree temperature will be reducing. So when you go to the mountains areas, the plain and mountains, the temperature will be different. That's why the higher the altitude, lower the temperature. Okay, so the higher the altitude, lower the temperature will be there. So because of that, what happens during the summer seasons, people go to visit in the hilly areas to experience the cool climate, right? It is due to the lapse rate. That means when you go 166, when above 166 meter, 1 degree Celsius of temperature will be reducing, right? So in mountains or hills will be cool climate, whereas plains will be hot, right? So mountains or hills will be cool and plains will be hot, that is in the summer seasons. Now let's discuss about the fourth point, that is the distance from the sea. The fourth one is distance from the sea. So the place which are near to the sea will be experiencing the moderate climate, and the place which are located in the interior part of India will be experiencing the continental climate. So the interior part of India will be experiencing continental type of climate. That means extreme cold during the winter season and extreme hot during the summer season. That is interior part. That means it is taken as the distance from the sea. Then the near to sea will be moderate. The near to sea will be experiencing the moderate climate. So this words distance from the sea makes difference and affect the climate temperature of India, right? So these factors, remember, this often asked in the board exams as the give reasons. So all these give reasons will be asked in different way, but answer will be same. So do not learn by heart, understand the concept, and properly you will be able to answer, or you will be able to solve any questions that is given in the give reason, right? Then the next one is western disturbance. Western disturbance. The fifth one is western disturbance. During winter season, what happened during winter season? Might be experiencing rain in Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab, Himachal Pradesh. So during winter season, what happens? That is mainly beneficial for the wheat crops, or if it is so heavy, it will be damaging, or it will be very loss for the crops. So during winter season, the low pressure depression the low pressure depression during winter season, the low pressure depressions originates from the Mediterranean Sea. They originate from Mediterranean Sea, and they move towards the east side. And in India, they enter from the northwest part of India. So northwest part of India, they enter. That is why they are known as westerly depressions. They originate from the Mediterranean Sea, that is low pressure depressions, and they start moving towards the eastern side. They cross Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then they enter India from northwest. That is during winter season. They bring huge loss of life and property. The next one is tropical depression. Tropical depressions tropical depression. Okay, this is known as temperate cyclones and this is known as tropical cyclones. When you are asked to differentiate between the temperate cyclones and tropical cyclones, temperate cyclones are known as, that is, western disturbance, and the tropical cyclones will be tropical depression. That is mainly starting in the month of May in Bay of Bengal. This recently might have seen, you might experience the Amphan. It was really so dangerous in May 16 to 21st May, and it brought a loss of huge loss of life and properties mainly in Kolkata, right? So this tropical depression is tropical cyclones will be occurring within the tropic of Cancer, means below tropic of Cancer, that is Bay of Bengal. So this is originates in the head of Bay of Bengal, right? They originate in the head of Bay of Bengal, and they occur during the summer season, that is during the summer season. See, this is during winter season, this is during summer season. So that is how this also low pressure depressions that is originating in the head of the Bay of Bengal, and that's why it brings a lot of or huge loss of life and property. All right. So these were the 5 factors. The last one is the upper air currents, or it is also known as jet streams. So the last one is, that is, the upper air currents, or it is known as jet stream. Okay. Basically, I think you already know about these jet streams. We have already discussed in 9th standard. So jet stream means they flow west to east nearby the tropopause. Nearby the tropopause, this upper atmosphere, right? This below in upper atmosphere. So they flow west to east nearby the tropopause, near tropopause, and they are known as, they are upper atmosphere. In the upper atmosphere in the particular directions due to the rotation of the earth, right? So what happens, these jet streams or these air currents also determine the onset of monsoon season. As the monsoon seasons will be developing in the Arabian Sea, these air currents has the capacity to pull it out, and they bring rainfall to the interior part of India. So they are also very much affecting. So these jet streams also affect the temperature of India and the climate of India. So these factors, remember and understand the concept clearly as it is given, right? So many questions are being asked in the board examinations from these this part is factors in different way that is asked as the give reasons. You can refer the study self-study question answers that basically the questions are being asked from here. So remember and understand the concept and keep on practicing, right? Keep on practicing, and don't forget to refer the textbook. Always refer the textbook when you are watching the videos, and slowly you will be having the ideas to understand better way. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood this concept, and next we will be discussing about the four seasons, right? Already I have sent you the PDF of these all these things. So next we will be studying about the four seasons one by one. All the best.